All right, let's talk about something that causes a whole lot of stress in so many families, screen time. But today, we're going to flip the script on that. We're going to look at how to turn this thing that causes so much conflict into a real chance for connection and, a little bit of balance, especially if you're trying to do this across two homes.
So let's just kick things off with the big question, right? In your family, right now, do screens feel like something that brings you all together, or do they feel like they're pulling everyone into their own little corners? It's a daily struggle for so many of us, but what if we could actually change that? Let's dive in and see how.
To really get a handle on this, we've got to understand what we're actually talking about. Because the whole screen time struggle, it's way more than just counting up the minutes and hours. It's really about getting to the bottom of the what and the why behind every time we pick up a device.
So let's just make sure we're on the same page. What even is screen time? Well, it's pretty much any time you're using a digital device. That's the whole shebang. Watching shows, playing games, texting your friends, even doing homework online. It's a massive part of our lives now.
Okay, and this is where it gets really important, because not all screen time is created equal, not by a long shot. I mean, think about it. Using an iPad to create a piece of art or FaceTiming with grandma, that's a whole different ballgame than just passively doom-scrolling through a social media feed. The real trick is to help our kids shift from just consuming stuff to actively creating and connecting.
All right, so if the answer isn't just no more screens ever, then what is it? Well, it all comes down to one word: balance. So let's look at a super simple but honestly really powerful way to picture what a balanced day actually looks like.
I love this analogy. Just think of your kid's day as a pie. You've got these big, important slices for things like sleep, school, playing outside, family dinner, and screen time is just one of those slices. And this shows the problem so clearly. When that screen time slice starts getting bigger and bigger, well, something's got to give, right? The other slices, the really essential ones like sleep and family time, they just start to shrink.
So you're probably wondering, okay, how big should that slice be? Well, for a little guidance, the American Academy of Pediatrics suggests about 1 to 2 hours of recreational screen time a day, and that's not counting any schoolwork. Now that's just a benchmark, but it's a really helpful starting point when you're trying to figure out what works for your family. And this, I think, is just brilliant. This is a tool to help empower your kids to make their own smart choices. Before they just grab a device, they can do a quick mental check-in. Hey, did I finish my stuff? Have I actually moved my body today? What's my goal here? Am I trying to learn something or just zone out? It helps build that habit of being mindful instead of just mindless.
Understanding why these limits are a good idea is really the key. Because as you can see, too much screen time has real effects on our bodies and our minds. Everything from eye strain to messing with our sleep. But here's the good news. The fixes are usually pretty simple habits. Things like the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Or the big one, no screens for an hour before bed. They're small habits, but they have a huge impact.
Okay, let's shift gears and add another layer that can make all this feel, well, a lot harder. Co-parenting. When kids are splitting their time between two homes, trying to create any kind of consistency with technology can feel impossible. But a two-home tech plan can be an absolute game changer. It can be a bridge. And this is so important. You have to start from a place of common ground. Because no matter what else is going on, almost every single time, both parents share this one fundamental goal. You both want a healthy, happy kid who grows up to have a responsible relationship with technology. This is your starting line. This is your foundation. And look, the conflict, it usually comes from a good place, right? It's just different perspectives. Maybe one parent is really focused on online safety and wants stricter limits. And maybe the other parent really values technology as a way for the family to stay connected and prefers a more flexible approach. It's not that one is right and the other is wrong. They're just focusing on different but equally valid pieces of the puzzle. So, how do you bridge that gap? You build a plan together. You start by agreeing on those big shared goals: learning, rest, connection. Then you actually write it down. It makes a huge difference. Use a neutral tool like a shared app or email to keep the emotion out of it. And this is a big one. Get your child's input. They are so much more likely to buy into rules that they actually helped create. And here's what that can actually look like. Just check out the daily limit. One parent says an hour, the other says 90 minutes. They're not identical, but look at the shared understanding. They both agreed to keep it under 2 hours. Same with bedtime. The rules are a little different, no screens after 8 p.m. versus no screens in bed. But the goal is the same, making sure the child gets enough sleep.
It's all about alignment, not having perfectly identical rules.
All right, so you have a plan. Now, how do you actually make it happen without it turning into a constant battle? This is where a few simple tools can make all the difference, helping you build trust and transparency for everyone.
Okay, let's talk about the word tracking, because I know that can sound kind of scary. We need to reframe this. This is not about spying on your kid. It's about safety, it's about checking in on that balance we talked about, and maybe most importantly, it's about giving you a neutral, factual starting point for a real conversation.
So what kind of stuff do you actually see? Well, things like how much time is being spent on which apps, how many times the phone gets picked up during the day, and how screen use might be affecting sleep. The idea is to sit down together, maybe once a week, look at the data, and just talk. Hey, what's working here? What do we need to tweak?
And if you only take one single thing away from all of this today, please let it be this. The goal isn't to have perfectly identical, rigid rules across two homes. I mean, that's just not realistic most of the time. The real goal is consistent care. And hey, for any kids who might be watching, let's talk to you for a second. We know that trying to keep track of two different sets of rules can be tough. The best thing you can do is simple. Just follow the rules of the house you're in at the time. It's okay that they're a little different. Just remember, both of your parents are doing this because they love you and they care about you.
So that brings us to the end. But really, it's the beginning, right? The real work starts now, and it starts with just one small change. So my question for you is, after hearing all this, what's the one thing, just one, that your family is going to try this week to find a little more digital balance? Thanks for tuning in.